So hang on, let me get this straight. You got dumped. You got dumped and your ex has decided to move on with somebody else. They're a right jack. And now, all of a sudden, you're noticing that they're looking at your stories, your Snapchat stories, your WhatsApp stories, your Facebook stories, your TikTok stories. But you're noticing it. You're noticing that when you are posting, they are looking all of a sudden. Why? Why is this? Why? If you want to know, hang around and I'll tell you why. My name's Kel and I'm a breakup coach, and if I had £1 for every time someone come to me and said, yeah, but they don't want to be with me, well, they're with someone else, they might even be engaged to someone else, but all of a sudden they're checking me out. Why? And I can hear the excitement in their voice as they're saying why, because I know that person is thinking, they must miss me. They must still want to be with me. Otherwise, why would they look at my WhatsApp story? Why would they care? They wasn't looking before. So why have they all of a sudden started? Or they've only just dumped me and they're saying that they don't want to be with me. They're even ignoring any messages I've sent them. But they're still checking out my stories. Why? Why is this? And I'm really sorry to burst your bubble, but I am known for my honesty and I am going to be honest with you. The reason that they are checking out your story is because they can. Because the option is there, because they might be curious as to what you may be getting up to. They may feel a bit guilty because of the breakup, so when they're looking at your stories, it makes them feel less guilty. It might just be nostalgia. It could be plain nosiness. They just want to see what you're getting up to. It could be because they want to check and see if they could still come back, maybe if it didn't work out with whatever option they've gone on to. They want to see if you're moving on. It makes them feel better. Somehow, whatever it is that's on your story is making them feel better, because trust me, if it wasn't making them feel better, they would soon block you just as quick as they dumped you. This is the bigger question. The bigger question is, why are you allowing them to still see what you are doing? Because my darling, if you were doing proper no contact, which is what you should be doing when you get dumped, 100% you need to go into complete no contact, but you must do it properly. And if you check out my book, Silence is Your Superpower, you will work out exactly how to do it properly. And if you have read my book and they're still seeing your story, then my darling, you shouldn't have bothered getting it. Because let's be honest, you need to do no contact properly, and I'm going to explain to you why. Stick around, because I'm going to tell you the psychology behind the person who does the dumping. So when somebody breaks up with you, they are by definition in the power position, okay? They feel great about themselves because they've been thinking about breaking up with you for quite a while. It didn't just happen overnight. They action it, they move on, they are absolutely fine because they worked out all of the emotions of it while they were still with you. So when you thought everything was absolutely fine, they were working through not being with you. By the time they broke up with you, they felt no pain. That's why it felt like you were on the floor and they were absolutely fine. That's why when you say, oh my God, they moved on so quick, they didn't move on quick. They didn't move on quick at all. They'd moved on well before they broke up with you. So they haven't moved on any quicker than you whatsoever. However, they're just further down the line. Now you need to get yourself further down the line. But how do you do this? How do you do this? How do you stop feeling so awful? You take yourself out of the past and you put yourself now in the present, in today. So stop looking back to when you were together and the amazing times that you had together, because your brain will naturally do that to you, because your body doesn't like feeling stressed. Your body doesn't like the cortisol running through it. It wants the lovely dopamine love feelings. And it relates that to your ex, because the last time you felt happy and nice was with your ex. So it brings you back to your ex. That's why your brain keeps reminding you of all the amazing things your ex done and totally seems to forget about all the awful things that they done, all the ways that they made you feel terrible. Now it's time for you to redress the balance. And how do you do it? You go complete no contact. And you might be saying, no, but I want them to know. I don't want them to think that I've forgotten about them. I don't want them to think I don't care. Yes, you do. You do want them to think that. You want them to be able to have a chance to miss you, for them to realise what they've lost in you. And they're not going to do that while you're still so available to them. Even seeing your WhatsApp picture leaves you available to them. They know how your hair looks that day. They know what you're doing if they're looking at your stories. They know exactly what you're doing. You don't want them to know anything that you're doing because you need them to be curious about you, not to have all the answers, not for them to know, oh, that's fine, if it doesn't work out here, I can go back to them because they'll just have me back. Just like that. It is not attractive to be needy, to be desperate, and to literally be sat on the back burner waiting for someone to pick you. No, you are not a pick-me person. You are number one, not number 2, 3, or 4. Never ever forget that. And if you forget that and you don't see yourself as that, how is anybody else supposed to see you that way? See where I'm going with this? So let's go back to the psychology of how your ex feels. Your ex just feels great. They're fine. They worked out their feelings while they were still with you. They actioned the breakup and then they moved on. And you're thinking, oh my God, how do I cope with this? You cope with it exactly the same way that they did. You deal with the emotions in front of you. I have the most amazing book to help you deal with all of these emotions. And that is why I write these books. It's called Bossing Your Breakup. There is also one called Burning Your Breakup. They are 2 fantastic journals. Go and have a look at both of them, see which one suits you best. They are fantastic to get you through all of these emotions, and you have to get through these emotions, because if you don't, you're going to stay stuck. You're going to be posting your little stories in the hope that they see something that they miss in you. They need to work this out for themselves, my darling. They need to realise the big hole that you have left in their life, because you brought lots of amazing gifts to their life. They have forgotten what they are because they're too busy being happy with what they've moved on to. So they need a chance to realise what you actually brought into their life. But most importantly, darling, taking them out of the equation, you need to heal. And while you are staying stuck in this, it's like having a big wound on your arm and it's just healing nicely and just scabbing over, but you keep picking it. You keep picking it, and every single time you're allowing your ex to see your stories, you're bringing your ex to the front of your mind as soon as you see their name. Underneath it, you are going to be posting stories with them in mind, hoping that they see it, hoping it elicits a reaction that they contact you. And they say, oh my God, I miss you so much. It's not going to happen that way. If it happens, it's going to happen when they actually realise for themselves what they have lost. And they are only going to lose you, darling, if they lose you. And while you're still there, being on show for them, you're right there. They're not missing you at all. And I'm just telling you straight, you need to do proper no contact. I am the biggest advocate for it, and I will always remain to be the biggest advocate, because my darling, it is your way through and you deserve the best. You don't deserve the breadcrumbs of the little looks of the stories. You deserve more than that. So look in the mirror, straighten that crown, remember who the hell you are, and go no contact.